You've been calling it the wrong thing. That thing at the grocery store you call a ginger root is not a root. It has never been a root. What you are actually holding is a rhizome, the main underground stem of the entire plant. While leafy stalks push upward into the air, this rhizome spreads horizontally beneath the soil, branching outward with every week that passes. This is not trivia. It changes everything. It explains why you plant shallow, not deep. Why a wide pot always beats a tall, narrow one. Why you can snap off part of the harvest without killing the plant. Every common mistake new growers make traces directly back to treating ginger like a root vegetable when it behaves like something fundamentally different. Understand the rhizome and the rest of growing ginger starts to make instinctive sense. The grocery store aisle is already your first test. Look for plump, firm pieces with several bumpy nodules on the surface. Those nodules are called eyes, and every single shoot this plant will ever produce grows from one of them. A piece with 5 or 6 visible eyes will outgrow a smooth, nodule-sparse piece of identical weight. More eyes mean more shoots, more photosynthesis, more underground energy, and a faster, larger harvest. Avoid anything shriveled or soft. That piece has already spent the stored energy the plant needs to establish itself. And choose organic whenever possible. Conventional ginger is sometimes treated with growth inhibitors that prevent sprouting. Once selected, cut the rhizome into 1 to 3 inch pieces, each carrying at least 1 or 2 eyes. Then stop. Do not plant yet. Set those cut pieces aside for 24 to 48 hours and let the exposed surfaces dry and seal. This curing step creates a protective barrier against the fungal rot that attacks freshly cut rhizomes in moist soil. Skipping it is the single most common reason first-time growers find decay where sprouts should have appeared. 4 starting methods. Only one fits your situation. In warm climates, zone 8 and above, plant the cured pieces directly into the prepared garden bed once soil warms in spring. 2 inches deep, buds facing up, 6 to 8 inches apart. Done. The season is long enough to let nature handle the rest. For beginners in any climate, the water bowl method removes all guesswork. Drop the rhizome in a shallow bowl. Change the water every 2 to 3 days. And within 2 weeks, roots and shoots appear visibly before any soil commitment is made. Once rooted, separate the sprouted sections and plant them an inch deep. In cool climates, zone 7 and below, neither of those options works because ginger needs 8 to 10 full months to reach a proper harvest, and the outdoor season simply does not provide that. Count back 10 months from the first expected fall frost date. That is the indoor planting start date. Set the pieces 2 inches deep in small pots on heat mats at 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Keep the soil slightly moist and grow indoors until spring warmth allows the gradual transition outside. Container growing serves every climate, but use wide and shallow containers over narrow, deep ones, because rhizomes spread sideways, not downward. Bring containers in before temperatures drop below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. The soil mistake that kills plants. Invisibly, ginger is less forgiving about soil than almost any other common garden crop. The soil must be loose enough for rhizomes to physically expand outward without resistance. Compacted or clay-heavy soil produces cramped, undersized results because the plant simply cannot push through. More critically, drainage must be excellent. Waterlogged soil is ginger's most dependable killer. Root rot sets in quietly before any leaf shows distress, and by the time something looks wrong above the surface, the damage below it is already irreversible. Amend generously with compost, well-rotted manure, or coconut coir before planting. These materials improve both water retention and drainage simultaneously, a rare combination that suits ginger perfectly. Keep soil pH between 5.5 and 6.5. Outside that range, the plant loses its ability to absorb nutrients regardless of how often it is fed. As for sunlight, ginger evolved under a tropical forest canopy. In cool climates, maximize every degree of warmth available. In hotter desert climates, afternoon shade is not optional. Direct intense sun stunts growth, bakes the rhizomes, and dries the soil faster than any watering schedule can compensate for. The potato trick that doubles your ginger yield. As ginger shoots grow taller through the season, add 1 to 2 inches of compost around the base of the stalks. This is called hilling up, and it signals to the rhizomes underground that more growing medium is available, prompting them to expand further outward and develop more aggressively. Repeat this 2 to 3 times through the growing season, and the difference at harvest is measurable. Apply 1 to 2 inches of mulch at planting, and again at 45 to 90 days in. Mulch retains moisture, regulates soil temperature, and suppresses weeds all at once. Water consistently, but never heavily. The ideal soil condition is the floor of a tropical forest, permanently moist, never waterlogged. Browning tips mean the soil is too dry. Yellowing leaves usually indicate a nutrient gap. not a watering one. Feed every 2 to 4 weeks with compost tea, fish emulsion, or slow-release organic granular fertilizer. Cut back on both water and feeding as days shorten and temperatures fall. The plant is winding down, and overfeeding a dormant plant achieves nothing. Ginger has almost no serious pest pressure. If aphids appear, neem oil handles them. Rotate the planting location each year to prevent soil-borne disease buildup. The plant tells you when. Most growers miss it. When the leaves begin to yellow and stalks start dying back naturally, the above-ground cycle is complete. All remaining energy has moved downward into the rhizomes, which are now at their maximum size and flavor concentration. This is the moment. Not a week before it, not a month after it. In cool climates, harvest everything before the first frost without exception. Rhizomes cannot survive freezing in the ground. In warm climates, leave the plant in place, reduce watering, and harvest partially as needed by snapping off outer rhizome sections, while the central mass continues growing. Young ginger at 5 months offers mild, tender, thin-skinned flavor. Ideal for fresh use. Full mature ginger at 8 to 10 months carries the intensity suited to cooking, drying, and storage. Use a garden fork, not a spade. Loosen the soil in a wide circle before lifting to avoid slicing through the rhizomes. Rinse the harvest thoroughly. Then, before anything goes into storage or into the kitchen, set aside the best, plumpest pieces. These are next season's planting stock. One initial purchase of ginger, managed this way, becomes a self-sustaining supply that never needs to be bought again. 6 ways to store it. 1 lasts a full year. For immediate use within a month, seal unpeeled ginger in a plastic bag and refrigerate. For storage without refrigeration, nestle rhizomes in a box of dry sand or sawdust in a cool, dark location. This traditional method keeps ginger fresh for several months without any technology. For long-term storage, freeze whole, unpeeled rhizomes in a freezer bag. They keep for up to a year and can be peeled and grated directly from frozen. No thawing required. Frozen pulp cubes go one step further. Process peeled ginger with a small amount of water, freeze the pulp in an ice cube tray, then transfer to a bag. 1 cube per dish, defrosted in seconds. Dehydrating is where it gets genuinely interesting. Slice ginger into uniform pieces and dehydrate at 115 degrees Fahrenheit for 3 to 4 hours until every piece snaps clean. Store in an airtight container for up to a year. Or go further. Run those dried chips through a spice grinder and produce raw ground ginger powder. It is measurably more aromatic and potent than any commercially produced version, because no industrial heat treatment or distribution storage has stripped out the volatile oils that carry the flavor. The difference between store-bought ginger powder, and this is not subtle. Grow turmeric for free. Alongside it, turmeric and ginger are botanical cousins with nearly identical cultivation requirements. They grow well side by side. Ginger's taller structure provides natural partial shade for turmeric below it, and both plants draw on the same soil conditions. 3 differences matter. Turmeric sprouts more slowly. If ginger is already several inches tall and turmeric has not appeared yet, that is completely normal. Turmeric also grows more slowly through the season overall. And most importantly, turmeric responds dramatically to a 2-year growing cycle in climates where that is possible. Ginger completes its full productive cycle in 1 season. Turmeric left in the ground for a second year often produces rhizomes 3 to 4 times larger than the first-year harvest. Everything else is the hilling, the feeding, the mulching, the harvesting technique, all 6 storage methods, applies identically. 1 setup, 2 crops, no extra effort. The complete season checklist before planting. Select plump rhizomes with multiple eyes. Organic preferred. Cut into 1 to 3 inch pieces with 1 to 2 eyes each. Cure cut pieces 24 to 48 hours. Amend soil with compost, aged manure, or coir. pH 5.5 to 6.5. Zone 7 and below, start indoors on heat mats 10 months before first frost. At planting eyes facing up, 2 inches deep, 6 to 8 inches apart. Wide, shallow container, minimum 12 inches deep for containers. Water gently. Moist, not saturated. Apply 1 to 2 inch mulch layer immediately. During season, water consistently. Never fully dry, never waterlogged. Feed organically every 2 to 4 weeks. Hill up with compost 2 to 3 times. Reapply mulch at 45 to 90 days. Reduce water and feeding as temperatures fall in autumn. At harvest, yellow leaves and dying stalks signal readiness. Garden fork, not a spade. Harvest all before first frost in cool climates. Snap outer sections for partial harvest in warm climates. Reserve best rhizomes as planting stock for next season. After harvest, wash and trim. Choose storage method by intended use. Label and date everything. Store replanting stock, cool and dry until spring.